Good day, everyone. You're welcome to CAD Baron. So this is what we'll be doing today. We'll be doing a gear, as you can see, a simple gear. So I'll be showing you guys how to do this particular gear. First, let me show you guys the overview. From this to this, then to this, then to this point, then this, then I have this, and I have this, and I have this. So I'll be showing you guys how to do it. Okay, let's start. When you want to start a new job, Ctrl N on your keyboard, click on parts, click OK. I'll be using a right plane. I'll click on this sketch. I'll go to my cycle, click from the origin, I expand. I use my dimension, smart dimension. I click here and I'll dimension it 120. 120. I check. Next thing, I move to Extruded Boss. I use a mid-plane condition, that is the direction mid-plane, and a thickness of 15. Good. So I have something like this. I have something like this now, as you can see. So the next thing, I click here, Ctrl 7, Ctrl 7, Ctrl 8, Ctrl 7. So I have something like this. I click here and click on sketch. I'll use this. I'll get a center line. From this center, I click. I have something like this. It might not be straight. Sometimes you might have something like this. All I have to do, I click on it, then click make vertical. So I have something like this. Then the next step, I'll do a cycle. I'll click from the origin to this. Then the next thing, I'll come here, use my 3-point arc. I'll stand at this point. I click here, I adjust it. This is the teeth. I want to create the teeth. All I have to do is mirror entity. I'll click on mirror entity, then I'll click mirror about, because we have already clicked here. So if I clear it, this is what I want to click, and go to mirror about. You click here, you have something to appear on this side. This is a preview. Then you check. I use a line, this line, to join it from here to here. So I've been able to get that now. So I just want to create the teeth. I'll go to trim entity. I'll click on this fresh face. You'll be seeing something like this. See my movement, my cursor. And I'll come down to this. I'll have only this. I'll check. Then the next thing, I'll start to dimension. Now what do? Come to smart dimension. I'll dimension this first. This. The radius will be 17. Good. Then now from this point, this line to this point, I'll make it 4. 4. I have something like this. Then from here to this point, I'll make it 1.50. I'll have something like this. Escape. I'll tap my escape, so you can see this. I'll take it up a little. We have created a relation. I'll click this. I'll delete this. It should be lapping on. Should be sitting on it. Okay. So I have something like this now. Then the next thing, I'll go to smart dimension again. Smart dimension. From this height from here to here should be 6.27. I should have something like this. but I'll bring it down because it should be lapping on it. It should be a, when you drag it down, you have fully defined, then it turns to black. Then all you have to do, check, go to features, I click on Extruded Boss base again. I'll have something like this. The direction should be blind, so it's come up like this, but I'll click here to reverse the direction. I'll click here, or I can come here and click up to surface. So what surface is it coming to? This is the surface. Then you have something like this. I've been able to do one teeth. So once you create one particular teeth, all you have to do is just tell us the number of teeth. Use a mirror circular pattern and tell us the number of teeth you want. I click here just to get a good appearance. I have something like this now. Now the next thing, I go to pattern. I come here, I click on circular pattern. Where is the direction? It has to have a path it's following. So this is, I click here, features. This is feature. On features, I click here. Then they will ask us what number of teeth. Do you want 32, 15, 18? So if you impute 15, this is what you get. If you impute 25, this is what you get. If you put 30, this is what you get. So if I want to use 15, I'll have something like this. And if I want to use 32 for this class, I'll be using 32. I'll check. Equal spacing 32. Then you have something like this. Then after this, what's the next thing? I use a right plane again. Right plane, sketch. I come to this point. So let's check from the other video. After that, one, we do this. I've done the circular pattern. The next thing is this. Cycle, extrude boss. We extrude it to a mid plane of 36. So we have this. Come to sketch, cycle again. I click here, I expand. Click on smart dimension. I click here. Dimension is 40. Done. I go to features, extrude boss. I click on mid plane. The thickness is 36. 36 mid plane. I have something like this. Then next thing I do, I click here front plane, I click sketch. All I have to do, get a cycle. From the origin I click, I expand. Then I do something like this, watch. I go to sketch, use my center line. I click from here, I bring it out. It might not be straight as I said earlier. I click here, I click make horizontal. So I have something like this now, as you can see. Then I click on this, I produce this one line, this point. I'll just have to mirror it to produce it again. I click here, mirror about, click here, check. Then I use this line to join it together. Join it. So I've been able to join it. I can click here, hold control, click here, and click here to know if it's symmetric. Or I make it symmetric. Symmetric. Check. Now, what's the dimension for this cycle? Click here, it's going to be, I'll make it 20. 20. Then from this origin to this height here, I'll make it 12. 12. Then this length here, I'll make it 8. So I have something like this. I'll come and use my trim entity. I zoom in, I move like this, so you can see this movement, then I move to this part, 1, 2, 3, and I have something like this. So what's the next thing? I go to features, I click on extrude cut, I increase it. As you can see, I check, I have something like this now. I cut through all. Then the next thing again, I click here, I click sketch. These are just added things we are just adding to make the gear look very good. I come to this center, I click here, expand, drop another cycle, expand. I go to smart dimension, I click here, 110. I come to this point again, I click 48. I have something like this now. Then I go to features, I click on extrude cut, use blind, then the direction, just 1, the distance 1, I'll have something like this. I've been able to produce this. Then next, I click here again, I click on sketch, I use this, make a cycle, something like this. I click here, then I click on this cycle, then I click on for construction. So I'm not going to make use of it, so I just come here now, trace from the center, come here, click, then I dimension, I click on smart dimension, I zoom in, I dimension it 13. Then this cycle, this construction cycle, I'll make it 78. I've been able to do this one. Now I have to look for a way to do a circular pattern so that I can produce 6 of it. So I come to this area, not a linear pattern. I click on this drop down arrow, circular pattern. It has to follow a path, as I said earlier. This is the path. Then what's the entity? I'll clear this. What do you want to do as an entity? I'll click on this. You see. So they say equal spacing, instant 4. I will increase it to 6. I have something like this now. Check. I've been able to get this. The next thing I'll do, I go to features and I'll move to extrude cut. I'll increase it. As you can see. Okay. So I've been able to achieve this now. I've been able to do the gear. Start from the cycle. From this cycle, form this, you make your teeth. The teeth is very important. Linear circular pattern. Yeah, you produce this. Come to this, and this. So I've been able to produce this, as you can see now. So Ctrl 7 to keep it on normal to Ctrl 8, Ctrl 6, Ctrl 7. We have something like this. Okay, guys, please like and subscribe and also share and try to practice. Thank you, guys.